Welcome to another exciting episode of Gospel Manager. Trust you had a wonderful weekend. This is our week of quality inquiries, and we know that divine inquiries will be made on your behalf that will shift you into new heights of favor. Remember, you could actually send the link to this episode to your social media platforms. Let your friends and family know that Gospel Manager is live. And don't forget to send in your questions at the comment section and also via email to all those watching via the Honor TV at thegospelmanager@gmail.com, and also via Telegram and WhatsApp at +234 9047533019. My team and I, as usual, will collate your questions and share them on this platform. I'm not alone. God's servant is live with me in the studio, and I'll leave the floor now for him to give his opening remarks and set the course for this episode. Good morning, Dad, and welcome. Fine, thank you, sir.
We will try, is it working? We will try to, let's deal with impressions, the kind of impressions we have. And impressions are destroying, and not even the right impressions though. People have definitions over things that they are not sure about. So I've always talked about complete knowledge. So we are struggling with that a lot. So let us try to. It takes time to know, and it takes sacrifice to know. And because people don't give themselves to time and to sacrifice. We just build half-baked impressions about life, and let's be careful about it, because the damage of relationships I'm seeing the rate of distrust, betrayal, dishonor, disvalue because of the impressions we have about a lot of things. And sometimes, if you are really God, if God makes you a God for a second and see the impressions of people's mind, how they define things, how they reason over them, you'll be so shocked to know that man is really deteriorating very fast. And as a leader, I'm concerned, and you need people to work with. You work with animals, so you need people to work with. So no matter what you try to teach and what you try to do, people have their impressions. And sometimes it's looking offensive. Sometimes it's looking as if you are the problem. But as a visionary, I'm privileged to see and observe, because I see and observe. Sometimes I can play the game of a fool or the wise just to observe. But let's be careful, because our impressions must be studied and come into a conclusion that will progress, because progression should be our more concern, not our opinion, because people are living by their opinions, not by progressing a thing. Your opinion is you. Progression is us. Nation building is we. But if it is only you, then your opinion will not take you anywhere. So that progressive mindset and how to act progressively is what we are really lacking. And we are lacking it because of the kind of impressions we have about people and things. And if we don't work on that early enough, at one time you will not see any sincere person anymore on the earth. Because nobody was meant to be bad, but because of conclusions, people end up taking wrong decisions because they didn't take their time to study actions. So they define that by concluding. And it's affecting every sector of life. And I pray God will speak to people and to give them understanding on how to live life.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so we'll move straight to the questions has been sent to us in the previous episode and in the past week and over the weekend also. Now, the first question is from Dan Ngozi. Dan Ngozi says, "Good morning, Bishop. I listened to the live stream recently when you spoke about paying attention to the things that are not seen in relationships and not the things that are seen, especially when you said some of the crises people face in marriage and relationships were there before they got married. And so I intentionally began to be careful about paying attention to those silent things that were there. Then immediately I started attacking those things. It looked like a revoltal, and then I saw the true color of the girl I was in a relationship with. Then I called the relationship off because we were close to both families. They called for a meeting because we're already preparing for the marriage. And then I stated the things I had observed thanks to your counsel. And then they encouraged me that those things can be worked upon. And then she begged for forgiveness. But my question now would be, sir, do you think I should extend the wedding further a bit so I could pay attention if truly she has repented, not just apologizing for those things? I have also made my remarkable change because it's not a one-sided thing. I spotted my own weaknesses from friends and even to her, and I began to work on them before I made this thorough decision. So, sir, do you think I should give some time to observe so I don't make mistakes even in marriage?
I love the young man. For the first time, I'm hearing somebody who owns up to his mistakes. People don't own up to their mistakes anymore in this part of the world. They are always the teachers, the correctors, the judge. People don't own up. And I want to thank him for that heart to own up to his errors. And I think in his time, let him shift the marriage and give himself time to study the person he's about to get married
to. We have another that looks somewhat alike. This one says, "Good morning, Bishop. My name is Alex. I I was residing in Lagos before I got transferred to Abuja in my work. So I am in a relationship that is now a year and 6 months, 6 months plus. But Bishop, usually I normally come every weekend to Lagos to spend some time, and sometimes she also comes over to Abuja. But then again, it was when I streamed service, as it was shared by the host. You made a statement. You said a young girl you're about to marry, and then you are camping in a boy's house. What is that for? End of quote. And so I repented of that. I stopped her from coming over to Abuja, but I come myself, though not every weekend, to Lagos. But then I do not allow her come to my house. I only probably go for a date with her in cinemas, restaurants, beach, and all that. But then there's a huge issue now, which is why I'm asking the question, because she is now creating the notion that I am seeing someone else, and hence creating boundaries that, according to her, is unnecessary. I've taken my time to explain to her. I even went ahead to go to YouTube to find that message and share to her so that she'll have an understanding that this came from my sincere correction from that word of God, from the man of God. And then she said I was using it as an excuse and a camouflage. So, sir, in this case, what do I do?
You know, I began by talking about impression. People don't know the truth, and they don't also know the lie. So, because we live in a world today where people don't know the truth, so they don't know the lie, so they just define everything as it suits them. And that's why I'm asking the question, why are there no honest people anymore? You know, Sonny, if you check, people are no more honest in life. You know, I talk to people and I look at you and say, this person is not truthful to me. But they don't know I know. Your body language, the way you respond to my questions, the way you act, the things you do behind me. I'm leading you somewhere. The things you do, how you treat people around me. This person is not honest to me. And you see, the boy is beginning to get honest, and the girl is not too sure that he's honest. Because that is the world we find ourselves. A very dishonest environment, where when somebody is truthful, it's described as a lie. When somebody is lying, it's described as being truthful. I will just say this to him. He should remain what he is. If she does not believe in it, then he gets out of her life. But he will not try to impress her. If you're truthful, you don't impress the truth. You do the truth. Those who try to paint truth are not wise people. If you're doing the right thing, keep doing the right thing. I have a style of life. If I'm doing the right thing, whether you are sad, whether you have, I don't care. It's only when I am wrong I should be bothered. When I am right, and if you carry an attitude towards me when I am right, you won't like me. Because I want to ask, why are you even offended when I know that I am right and you acted stupidly? You're supposed to be repenting, Abi. We have a very funny environment. You're not doing things right, and someone is talking to you about it. You're supposed to be getting the counsel of correction and try to see how you can improve yourself. Rather, you act with attitude. And to me, I don't have respect for you if you be like that. So that lady does not really understand that life can be lived like that. So when people get honest, you think they're lying. When they lie, you think they're truthful. That's the world we find ourselves. So let him stay there in his honesty. And if the lady puts pressure, he gets out of that relationship.
All right, this is from a pastor. He said, "Good morning, my father. My name is Pastor Israel. I'm streaming from Kogi State. Sir, please, I came in contact with you on Facebook in one of your short clip messages when you spoke on character. And since then, I've been following you and all the services online on Facebook. Sir, please, there's a current case I'm trying to handle that I need your honest contribution as to how to handle it. Now, there is this long-term serving members of our church, and sadly, we lost the father who is an elder in the church last November. They kept postponing the burial ceremony because of unresolved family crisis. And now it was kind of resolved thanks to the church and the input of one of our leaders who used his political influence to assert authority on some things that were fair to both parties. Now the man has some properties, and then the family is depriving his own family, which is the wife, who is the widow, and the children for that. Now he's blessed with 3 amazing daughters, but then they are bringing traditions that for property sharing, it must be a male child, and since he has no male child, that the tradition says the brother to the husband should then be in custody of the property and should so do whatever he wants as he deems fit. Now this is what we are currently facing, as we have finally buried him 2 weeks ago. He has a will, but unfortunately over the weekend we got to know that the lawyer is now late, and he has the will, he hasn't read it, so we don't even know how to get a grasp of it, although we had been advised to approach his counsel, his chambers, to see if probably it came through the chamber or he dealt directly with the lawyer. So for now, sir, what do you think will be appropriate for me to do, because the family sees me now as their father and their guide?
Getting to walk on the truth. It's not difficult. It's just that people don't like to walk on the truth. The truth is visibly before you. It's simple. I don't care who is alive or who is dead. The truth is there. So They know where to get the truth. The chambers is dead. If the lawyer is dead, he has workers. The document was typed from the office. So in either form, the man has made statements. The man has confided in somebody. So the truth will be somewhere around that system. So let him be a father and be honest about it and make sure that he broker a lot of peace and give the properties to those who deserve it. Let him not put interest in it, because posterity will speak against him or for him. Whatever he does in that situation will either be for him or against him. Let him remember the spirit of the dead is so powerful that he should do all his best to recognize it. That's all I have to say there.
All right, so the next question says, "Good morning, Bishop. Thank you for your contributions on relationship and the honesty of people. But sir, my question would be, I am so much in love with a particular girl in church, and she is very devoted. She works in a fashion school. According to her, in the last conversation I had with her, that she wants to be a tailor. She is currently in one of the fashion academies in Lagos. But upon my questioning, she said she has been through so many heartbreaks, and she has made a resolution to focus on her career and don't do relationships. From the questioning, she is 28 and I am 30, and I intended to settle down this year in marriage. I expressed my honest desire of settling down and not just doing gimmicks or what other people do in relationship. But she seems to stand her ground. Sir, please, are there other ways I could convince her, or should I be patient, even though I don't know when she will then open up to relationships again?
You don't convince a woman. You approach a woman. The Bible, you don't say we should convince. You approach. And if the woman says no, walk away. And so you're only convinced to serve God. It's service to God. You are convicted for that, because you have to be preached to. But for a woman, you have to approach her. I love you. Whatever was that is deemed fit for you to use. If she says she's not ready yet, please go elsewhere. And know that you are walking towards a life. So don't stay there and be trying to get somebody who is not trying to listen to you. Because things you struggle to get, sometimes they end up abusing your values. So I've always said, if I give you time and you don't, no, this is me now. If there are certain things you are supposed to do for me, and every time I talk to you about it to do it, I won't talk to you again. Because you are supposed to know that that is your role. If you didn't know before, now I have told you. I keep asking for that thing. That's your role already. So when I see you not doing it, if you remind me about it, I'll say, don't bother about it. So you don't remind the woman. She's a lady. She should be approached. The question she should ask is, who are you? What life do you want to live in the future? If the life the boy wants to live is yes. If it doesn't, it's no. No need trying to post anybody. Okay, I've heard you. What life do you want to live tomorrow? What are your beliefs? What are your convictions? What do you stand for? This is my background. This is what I believe. These are my instructions. These are my discipline. Finish. The guy say I cannot cope. The guy say I can cope. So if he brings another life you don't have, you say, I don't have that life. And he says, okay, I can cope with this life. Then you say yes or no. Or follow me to go and see my, now I have agreed with you. But let's go and see my pastor. Let's go and see my father. Let's go and see my mother. Let's go and do this. So it's not a drama. Drama should not be in looking for who to marry. From both sides. It's a simple thing. The person's belief, ideologies, future should be more of your concern. That's the most important thing about you in a relationship. How do you behave? Who do you respect? Who instructs you? Who disciplines you? Those are the questions you should ask. And if the person passes those things, fine and good. Love is even the last thing. And then, do you like the person? Do you like the person? If yes, you do. After the person has met certain conditions that are natural factors of life. Because sometimes we're in love with people who don't have the interest of anything that connects to our future. For example, you're in ministry, the person does not like ministry. The person hates prayers. The person hates church. I mean, you are in ministry. But because the person's appearance is very attractive to you, so you dive into it. And say, I don't care. You will care at one time because that appearance is not marriage. The woman cannot cook. You cannot care for the family. You are irresponsible. The girl is irresponsible. So there are questions you have to ask. So that delay tactics of all of that, I am busy, that's not the issue here. The major thing is there are details that you must get to find out first. If you get on the, and you're okay with it, why not? Say yes. Either you're saying yes or you're saying, but don't keep anybody waiting for any reason. It's not exams you're writing. It's either yes or no. So the person can move on with his life.
Thank you so much, sir. This one is from Augustine. He's just coming in now from email. He says, good morning, Bishop. Please, Bishop, I've heard about all this will writing. But, sir, is there any guideline on setting a will for your family?
There's no guideline. For me, there's no guideline. My guideline is how the people, your maturity is my guideline. If I have a family that the superior is self-centered, I won't write my will and give it to you to take care of. I won't do that. Because I will hurt the others. That greedy person will kill everybody with it. So I will centralize my will, not to one person, because you must be careful who takes over you. You know, as a pastor, I've learned a lot of things. The people I pastor teaches me a lot. Let me use the pastor as that. You have a pastor under you. And then you send him to do things for you. And then he does them, he does not give a report. He tells you the ones you need to know. And does not tell you the ones he doesn't want you to know. It's not that because he's protecting you. Because it's for his own self-interest. And that's a pastor under you. That's somebody who you are looking up to take care of your work in the future. There may be 5 of them around you here who you see potentials in them, and then you send him somewhere to do something for you. They gave him money. He tells you he did the prayer, but he didn't tell you about the money. He behaves like Absalom. People come to see you. He builds the credit of himself and does not tell the people about me. People are loyal to him, but they are not loyal to me. The people who are loyal to him are not loyal to me. The people who respect him don't respect me. But this is the person who you want to hand over things to. People who serve me is against them. He indicts them passively. Now, if you give that kind of will to that kind of person, others will suffer. So, how to define a will is the person who is loyal to the one who owns the will. It's not by firstborn or wife. No, I don't behave like that. The person who is loyal to the one who owns the will, who can sacrifice his life for the one who owns the will. Because that loyalty is the greatest treasure that any man with wealth should fight for. The recent one that happened that the Imo State guy, the Iwayawo guy, wrote his will and told his 37 years old wife, 39, not to marry again. That if she marries, she fulfills the will. Now, whatever we want to interpret that, is loyalty crisis as a problem. If there was loyalty in that thing will not be a clause. There are signs that the guy have seen that my property will not last here. Anybody will say anything. The man is wicked, the girl is young, ugly. But see, for a man with, the woman only has a child for him. In his period of marriage, he had 4 kids. The young man just only had a child for him. The guy was almost 72 before he got married to her. So she was in her 20s, 26, 27, when she married the guy. So she stayed with him for at least 7 to 8 years. Or 12, let me say 12. Now, why would that kind of a clause be? The question is why? We would be talking about the outcome, but why? Why is that kind of clause in the will? So there are things the man might have noticed in that marriage that he's not comfortable with. And he knows that if that clause is not there, and the moment he goes, a lot of things will go wrong with his will. So when you want to define a will, you must look at the commitment of the people to you, not to properties. And I'm very careful about that. What level of sacrifice are the people around you willing to make for you? That defines what you can give to them. Not even God shows us how to give our will to people. There was Aaron, he gave Joshua. He shows us how to do it. It tells you the one who is committed to you is the one that should be able, because managing what you left behind should be the concern, not who you gave properties to. Who will manage the things you have left behind? Who is that person around you who represents you when you are not there, the way you are supposed to be represented? That's the will. But today, the will, people are seeing the will as property possession. The house in here, the house in here, the car is here. The will is somebody's sacrifice, somebody's 50 years work, somebody's labor, somebody's sweat, somebody's collapse, somebody's disappointment, somebody's pain. So it's not the house that's the will, or the car, or the huge bank account somewhere. It's somebody's life for 50 years, for 60 years, for 70 years. The person walked with life. It is his sweat that produced those things. So the maintenance of those things is what the will is all about. Who will maintain it, not who will possess it. Because it makes no sense. I give you a house as my son. After 2 years, you sold it. And go and rent a house. That's the way. I've wasted. That's my effort wasted. I gave you 100 million in your account. After 6 months, you didn't run a business. The money is squandered. And after 6 months, you have no money to spend. To me, my 50 years in this life, you wasted it in 6 months. And let's be careful how our wives and children, and because sometimes even husbands today are fighting for the will of their wives. How we have gotten so entitled that people are even wishing for people to die to inherit properties. And then check all these people who are fighting to inherit things. They can't maintain them. And then sometimes people who see their family, they end up bewilling everything to the orphanage. Because they have the wrong wife, they have the wrong husband, and very poor children, whose mind is just to collect, not to build from where their parents have stopped. So it's a very, very dicey thing. But please, people should know that the will is somebody's lifeline labor. And any son or any wife or any husband should not waste it. And don't pray for a will. And don't fight for it. Don't fight for a will. People are fighting for will, property. That is a man's lifetime labor. We should be thinking on how to preserve it, not consume it. So when we know this, even to go to, this thing about loyalty, it came up because siblings fight themselves. If we understand that it is our father's sweat, we will not bother about who he gave it to. Our concern should be, we will make sure that the properties are safe, and if the man is no more there, his legacy will continue. That should be our concern. Not who takes what and who does not take anything. When we have this idea or this wisdom, we'll do better.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, this next question came in and it says, Bishop, good morning. I totally agree with you. Using the case of the late Captain Hosa Wells, who was one of Edo State's wealthiest person. Now, before the current Olu of Warri was crowned the Olu, when he came to seek the hand of the daughter of Captain Hosa in marriage, he had a lot of questioning to the current Olu. And then when he saw that the current Olu was well trusted, even before his death, he entrusted the entire family to his son-in-law, the current Olu of Warri. Nobody knew why until we later got to know that Captain Hosa had cancer and he died. Till date, the Olu of Warri, who is his son-in-law, is now the head of the Hosa family, doing incredibly well, managing the entire family, including grandchildren of Captain Hosa. And this is very remarkable. Now, my question now, sir, is with my own current family, something happened quite recently that got everybody wondering, and there's some level of biasness in their judgment. Now, my father, through his political friend, had a job offer. Now it was between my elder sister and her husband. Her husband lost his job some time ago in December because he was actually framed. Now, when the offer came to my father, he said he was not interested, and so he would give it to one of his children. And then he gave the job to my in-law, which is his son-in-law. Now, the debate here is, why would he give the job to my brother-in-law instead of my sister? And my father's reservation is very simple. The man is the head of a home, and the sole responsibility of a man and a father is to take care of the family. Hence, the decision to give the opportunity to his son-in-law, even though it is not his biological son. There's a lot of crisis, and my father has said his decision is final, and he doesn't want to talk about it. But there's so much heat and debate in the family. How can we, one, manage the current crisis? Because my father has kept mute. He said he's not interested in that talk. He has given a job and it's final. How can we salvage the situation, sir?
I've answered the question. Is this entitlement of family? And it's not only in children, it's also in siblings. And the earlier we stop doing that, the better for. People have died because of it. Brothers have killed brothers. Siblings have ruined themselves because of it. Because of these entitlement issues. You see, we should be fighting to develop our manners to be trusted, than to be fighting for our rights. If it is your right, then build trust for it. Because the moment you are losing trust, that right is taken away from you. I want people to know, when you lose trust, see, that right is taken away from you. Whether you are by blood or by marriage, you are losing it. Because you are supposed to understand the business more than an outsider. So when you don't show that interest, you are losing trust. Then now you now feel entitled. For example, I gave instructions in church, and my son is walking away. My own son or my own daughter is walking away. Or somebody close to me by blood. That attitude, tomorrow, when there's a reward, I won't call you. Even God knows I won't call you. That's the truth about me. I'm the only human being that don't do that. I'm not going to call you. Because you see, we are supposed to grow what we have. Because the entitlement begins from the people you have. So if you are entitled to certain things, then you should be the first person to see that in work. You are the first person to see it work. So if you don't want it to work, so don't be entitled to it. Don't even be entitled. Leave it. If I am forcing you to do it, forcing you to go and do it, you are the person who is supposed to be my brother, my child, my wife, my husband, and you are the one I am forcing. You're supposed to be my close friend. You have been with me for 20 years. And you are the one I am forcing to go and do that thing. My beloved. No. So, when the reward comes, the people who show that interest should take the reward for what they labored for. So that man just showed you and I that for the benefit of growth, the person who can do it should do it. And that's the only way life will progress. When we start teaching people that no matter how close you are to me, there are certain things you should not do. No matter how close you are to me, there are certain ways you should not behave. And that's when our community will begin to change. Because when a child knows that if he misbehaves, he will be punished, he will be in order, that he will be deprived from his rights, he will grow and be responsible. Why are the kids of Donald Trump not wayward? Why? Have you seen any of his child wayward? It's simple. If you go this way, if you take drugs, if you humanize, if you put tattoo in your body, if you dress anyhow, you will lose your inheritance. As simple as that. And it says, and I meant it. And it's a documented statement. It's a documented, law-abiding word. He didn't just make a statement. So you see, all of them are properly married, well-behaved. When I mean well-behaved, well-behaved. It's simple. You don't have a right until you behave it. It's your character that gives you the right. It is your manners that gives you the right, not entitlement or by blood or by friendship. It is your character that gives you a right. So because we have not really helped to pattern people right, and that is why something will grow here. When the visionary dies, the thing dies. The moment the man dies, the thing just collapses. Boom! Because the people around him were only eating. They were not assisting him to build. And to me, it has destroyed ministries, it has destroyed families, it has destroyed businesses, and it's still destroying. Because we need to change that trajectory immediately. So that somebody will know that a slave can take your office. If you're not serious about it. Of course, Joseph was not, he was a member of Egypt. Didn't he take the office of the Egyptian? You should understand that. It's just support your father's business. So you want inheritance, then support it, grow it. Grow it. You want inheritance, Abi? Then grow it. You're not growing it. What are you expecting to receive? So let's be careful, and let's leaders be careful. They should plan ahead of their life. When they die, what happens to them? What happens to their name when they die? It's very important. Thank you.
You agree with me that this episode was indeed very educating, especially for those in family and those intending to go into families. We have a lot of questions, but we'll reserve them for Friday morning at 7 a.m. So I just want God's servant to give us his final thoughts on this just before we get into the next segment of Gospel Manager as we round up. So we'll just hear God's servant's concluding talks, and then he can also bless us for the week.
I believe that we are not listening right anymore. People have their opinion over a lot of things. And we are trying to feed the mind. And I discovered lately, don't force things on people. Just teach them and leave it there. And make your choice of following what will help you. By privilege of life, I'm supposed to help you. But I will try my best in this polluted environment to always bring sanity to my environment. And those who come into my space will sense that sanity. You are to accept what I offer you. I'm not supposed to impose it on you. So if you accept it, it edifies you. It moderns you. It makes you a better person. And we need to know that let's get to spaces that helps us, that edifies us, that encourages us, that corrects us, that changes us, that transforms us. Because you may be counting days, but the more you keep living and not getting better, the more you lose privileges. You see, there are levels of opportunities in life. You may think you have favors until you see a man who just told you that somebody just gave him $10 million. You may think you have favor. Somebody, they give you 100,000 every week. You think you have monies. But you meet a man that says he makes $10,000 every, and by favor. So levels change by the acceptance of corrections and modeling you create for your life. Don't look too far. Your correction is within you, but you have refused to accept it. And that's why you are not progressing. The moment you accept that, you progress. Have a blessed week and allow God to lead you. Remember, don't go faster than God. Let God become the reason why you are going forward. Don't take decisions because you are better. Take them because God is leading you. And as you do that, you will always end up as planned. God bless you.
Headed right from God's servant. So please join us this Thursday for our midweek service at 4:30 p.m. It's going to be an amazing time. We're continuing the teaching series as we wrap it up this week with the quality triumph with the subtitle Praise. Join us online and join us on site. God bless you as you do so. And there's going to be a special moment of encounter this Friday at the Night of Peace, the very first miracle night of the year. There's going to be absolutely the divine move of God. The sick will be healed, the the downcasted will receive their freedom and liberation, and also the undiluted word is going to come through us by God's servant. And whilst you're at that, make sure you also be here with us on Sunday for an amazing time of worship and praise. The theme of the service is worship and miracles. It's going to be an absolute phenomenon at the combined service at 7:30 a.m. live at Rehoboth City Honor World International and across our social media platforms. Remember, this week is going to be a pile load of encounters from Thursday to the Night of Peace on Friday, and also the worship and miracle service on Sunday. Be part of it, be our guest, and we can't wait to host you. And something remarkable is going to take place because God's servant will be feeding people within the hours of 6 and 7. So make your way here. You're going to have a free breakfast from God's servant on Sunday at 6 to 7 a.m. So be part of it as you enjoy the rest of the week. Remember, life is beautiful and you can handle it. Gospel Manager returns on Friday at 7 a.m. and we can't wait to have you. God bless you.
Join us this June for a powerful and life-transforming experience at the Night of Peace. Come and encounter God's presence through the Word, salvation, healing, miracles, academic excellence, and so much more. Ministering, Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe, God's Servant, date Friday, 27th of June, 2025, time 10 p.m. GMT +1. Venue, Rehoboth City, along Asaba Abusa Road, Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria. Don't miss this impactful night. Your encounter with destiny awaits.
She said for some time now, she feels drained and as if strength is leaving her. But while you placed your suit on her during the first service, instant strength came into her system and she has felt good from that moment up to now.
The character of the praiser is what the king sees before he accepts your worship. The king does not see your pain, he sees your attitude. If you come before me to dance, how you dance is not my problem. It's how you look that's my problem. The girl who danced for John the Baptist to be killed had an intention. What was the intention? To please the Father. But by the time she was through, somebody told her, demand for his head. You see, now the motive became wrong. So the dance was okay, but the motive was wrong. And the motive ruined the man's life. Now sometimes your motives are the problem, why your effort is fake. Your motives are so wrong. Even when you are genuinely dancing, but the motive inside of you is wrong. Because God is watching the heart, not the actions. Though man will take your actions, but God will take the heart. Man will accept your actions, but God will weigh your heart. It is your heart God will accept. Character plays a major role for the acceptance of your praise. If you have a healthy manner, you will eat a healthy praise. It takes a levels above mentality to sow a seed beyond your expectation. It was that beyond expectation seed. Now, there are seasons in your life that you don't ask questions, you reason by the Spirit to engage the movement. There are waves, and when the waves behind to move at a certain path, you must understand the movement and the waves of a thing. Your distortion will cause you a distraction, and distraction will keep you in destruction. Remember, God is not a respecter of persons.
If you are right, you will be right. If you're wrong, you will be wrong. Look at me. Look at me. Seasons are meant for sacrifices. And there are two kinds of sacrifices you must pay. The sacrifices of service and the sacrifices of giving.
The blessing is not physical, but it attracts physical things. You don't pray for cars when you're blessed. You don't pray for money when you're blessed. You don't pray for houses when you're blessed. Blessed people don't pray for them. Those things are proof that you are a blessed person. What you should pray for is the blessing, not the blessings. It is the blessing that attracts the blessings.
Grace is the believer's makeup. In our natural self, we are limited. But when we wear the grace of God, people see us differently. Wearing grace is wearing God. Because nobody can turn him back. Nobody can turn you back.
You cannot reach your potential without valuable people in your life. Many people are just ordinary. They are gifted, but all they have is a gift. But when the gift of men come into your life, your gift is exposed.
Every man born of God, there is the you that we see now. There is the you that you have to become. If you are not careful, and if people are not careful, they will take you for the you are now as the you will ever be.
Join us this June for a powerful and life-transforming experience at the Night of Peace. Come and encounter God's presence through the Word, salvation, healing, miracles, academic excellence, and so much more. Ministering, Dr. Maxwell Golden Egbe, God's Servant, date Friday, 27th of June, 2025, time 10 p.m. GMT+1. Venue, Rehoboth City, along Asaba Abusa Road, Asaba, Delta State, Nigeria. Don't miss this impactful night. Your encounter with destiny awaits.
She said for some time now, she feels drained and as if strength is leaving her. But while you placed your suit on her during the first service, instant strength came into her system and she has felt good from that moment up to now.
The character of the praiser is what the king sees before he accepts your worship. The king does not see your pain, he sees your attitude. If you come before me to dance, how you dance is not my problem. It's how you look that's my problem. The girl who danced for John the Baptist to be killed had an intention. What was the intention? To please the Father. But by the time she was through, somebody told her, demand for his head. You see, now the motive became wrong. So the dance was okay, but the motive was wrong. And the motive ruined the man's life. Now sometimes your motives are the problem, while your effort is fake. Your motives are so wrong. Even when you are genuinely dancing, but the motive inside of you is wrong. Because God is watching the heart, not the actions. Though man will take your actions, but God will take the heart. Man will accept your actions, but God will weigh your heart. It is your heart God will accept. Character plays a major role for the acceptance of your praise. If you have a healthy manner, you will eat a healthy praise.